Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Valerie. If you're new, thank you for stopping by. If you're not new, thank you for clicking to watch another video. Into this video, as you can tell by the title, I will be teaching you how to budget if you're in your 20s or you're a teenager or you're just someone who's making money and you just really want to know what do I do? I have a video coming up very interesting about 5 money mistakes that I made in my earlier years that you should not be making. So let's get into this video. The first step in knowing how to budget is to know your income. Know how much is coming in, know the source of your income, know the total of your income. If you don't know what you're earning, you're not going to know how to budget it. Which now you may like people may think that they know, but they don't actually know. Especially if you have multiple streams or if you have a part-time job. You have a part-time job, sometimes you don't even know how much you're earning. So I would say take the time to go through your bank statements and know exactly how much money you're earning from your job, from let's say a tax refund, all these things. I calculated my income for January that just passed. And it wasn't just like my employer income, there was also like some tax rebate stuff that came in. And I think in total, I earned a little over $5,000 in January. I would have never known that 5 years before because I never looked into knowing what I earned. So the first step, no matter how little you earn, no matter how insignificant you think it is, whether you work once a week, whether you work once every 2 weeks, know your income. That is the most important thing right now. Just know how much you earn. Number two is to have a notepad or an Excel spreadsheet where you're going to input all your transactions and where you have like your fixed expenses and miscellaneous expenses, but have a notepad or like an Excel spreadsheet. I personally do not use Excel because I'm not a digital budgeting person. I have bought at least two digital budgeting stuff and it has never worked out for me. I am a note, pad, and pen. I put pen to paper and I go. So I'm really, really good at using my notepad. So this is my notepad here. Now this is a new one because there's an older one that has a lot more details, but this is like the new one I started using. So what I do is I would write the date of pay and I will budget the money that's coming in. So I recommend that you either get a notepad or you get an Excel spreadsheet. Another thing you're going to do that I just mentioned is that you're going to have your fixed expenses written out or typed up in your Excel spreadsheet. And this is because fixed expenses are fixed. It's the same thing every single week, bi-weekly, every single month. It doesn't change. And you need to know the exact figure. And so these are like your non-negotiables. So if you pay rent, it's like saving for rent, it's groceries, it's transportation, it's if you have subscriptions that you don't want to let go of, that's also a fixed expense. So for me, like I have a YouTube premium subscription, it's staying and it's a fixed expense. So make sure you list all your fixed expenses and put the price right next to it, tally it up, and know the total. You want to know the total of your fixed expense because you're going to compare it to your income. Another thing about fixed expenses is that you can have a fixed expense for a certain period of time. So, for example, if you're going on vacation and you're funding that into an account, and it's coming out of every paycheck, that is a fixed expense. Even if you're just saving for 6 months, if you're saving for 3 months, whatever, it's a fixed expense for that period of time. And then once you go on your vacation and blah blah blah, then you can take that out. You understand what I'm saying? So there can be fixed expenses that are only there for a certain period of time because once you get to the goal, you're on to something else. Another really good example of a fixed expense for me is my emergency funds. I have something that comes out of my account that goes straight into my emergency funds in a high interest savings account for emergencies. So that's another fixed expense. So fixed expense could be anything: emergency funds, vacations, your tithe, if you tithe, whatever it is, your subscriptions, those are fixed expenses. So you want to know the total. I think my total fixed expense is about 600 to 800. So yeah, you want to know your total. Another really good way to save is to have a wish list. To budget, I mean, is to have a wish list. Do not just buy things simply because you have the money to. Put them all on a wish list. I think I'll put my wish list right here and then plan to buy them, budget for them. I'm on a low spend Q1, but I'm going to have a big spending month in April. I already know that. So I'm already allocating how much I want to spend at different stores on different things. And it's guilt free spending because in my mind and on paper, it is allocated for. So I highly recommend have a wish list and budget towards that wish list and put some money aside for that wish list as well. I would say like the last step, in my opinion, would be to please have a savings account. Have a savings account. I don't care if you're earning $5, save $1, save $1. You want to have a high savings account, you have to have a savings account in a high interest savings account, whatever, for emergencies. For I used to be the person, listen, I'm gonna film that video on 5 money mistakes I've made. I used to be that person that thought she didn't need a savings account. You need one. You're going to want one. Your future self will thank you for one. And depending on your income, budget, like save reasonably, right? You can't be earning $50 and say, I'm going to save $40. No, you're not. That's not realistic. You can earn $50 and say, I want to save 10. I want to save 15 max. That's a reasonable budget for a low income. You know what I mean? So, what I'm saying is make sure you have your savings and make sure you're contributing to that. That is a good way to budget. That's a good way to give your money something to do for you. Okay. Okay. Um, so yeah, those are the tips that I would give my younger self. If I had a younger self, I would say these are the tips that you need to budget and to save in your 20s. It's not for, I understand that you want all the things, but honestly, trust me, your future self will thank you when you budget and allocate your money to good use. I will see you guys in my next video. Hopefully, it will be the 5 money mistakes. If not, that video is coming. Trust me, I have some gems for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.